What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Mastermind Creations Reformatted number 27, Calidus. Now, Calidus is Latin for wise or crafty. The figure is, well, it's Mastermind Creations Hot Rod. And boy, does this figure look good. It looks absolutely stunning. The figure that I got is the $84.99 version that I picked up over at BigBadToyStore.com. It also comes with a different head, but I like this head. The other head has a nice smirk on it. Calidus comes with two different accessories other than the head, the first of which is this really neat little gun. It kind of looks like a harpoon gun. It fits in either hand very nicely, and the hands are circular at the, well, Kung Fu grip section that I really do appreciate. So he can hold a variety of different weapons. He also comes with this sweet bow and arrow that I believe is an homage to the Transformers animated version of Rodimus, or Hot Rod. It's a very, very cool double bow and arrow that looks like it's supposed to shoot these bits, but according to the directions, you're supposed to be able to hold it, or I should say he is supposed to be able to hold it, and then pose like he's drawing a bow and arrow. And getting him posed is rather difficult with these wings on the back. Thankfully, though, the wings are detachable, and they come off incredibly easily. So they just pop right off, and you can move them off to the side, and then pose your Calidus as you see fit. Other than the rear wings getting in the way of the shoulders, the posability of the figure is excellent. Head is on a ball joint, moves pretty freely. Shoulders are on a series of hinges that can move in and out. I prefer to keep them close to the body. There is a swivel above the double hinged elbow. Fist can articulate, or I should say wrist can articulate on a ball joint. Hand opens and closes with ease. The trigger finger is on its own separate joint, which I appreciate. There is torso articulation, double hinge in the hips. The forward and back movement is a loose ratchet. The in and out movement of the legs is a very tight ratchet. Thigh swivel, over 90-degree bend at the knee, and some nice ankle articulation. Forwards and back, left and right. So you can get off some wonderful poses with this figure. Several other toy reviewers who have already reviewed this figure have taken these pieces off, and they pop right off. I assume they're supposed to be like darts for the bow and arrow, but they just pop right off, which is really, really cool, because when you pull them off, then you get this little sawed-off blaster motif that works both in vehicle and then as exhausts in, works as a blaster motif in robot mode and then exhausts in vehicle mode. It works really well, and I like it a lot. Overall, this figure in robot mode is simply fantastic. The only complaint that I can leverage, okay, two complaints. Wings get in the way, but that's easily remedied. And I would have loved a little bit more paint up here on the chest, maybe some flames. But I have a feeling that there's going to be another version of this figure coming out that has flames. And the reason I say that is if you ever get an MMC figure or Mastermind Creation figure, it comes with a little comic book. And that little comic book has some flames molded onto his chest there at the end of the comic, which is very cool. Also in the comic and the directions is a photo gallery for R-28 Tyrantron. So this is the jet mode with the more Megatron-esque look. And then over on the other side is what I'm assuming a flying drill tank, and then the minor version of the figure. I also thought there was an actual drill tank version that looks a little bit different, but I could be wrong. So I'm definitely going to be getting R-28 when it comes out, because that thing just looks cool. So let's go ahead and into Calidus' transformation. It's actually not too bad. It is a little bit complicated, but it's kind of fun, actually. So to start off with, I like to just pop the wings off. Getting rid of the wings in this mode just makes things a little bit easier. First, we're going to come to the wrists, or the fists, fold them up, and they will peg in. The forearms will peg into this peg right up here. So we'll just go ahead and do that really quickly. And then once we do that and get that situated, we come to the shoulders and pull them apart just a little bit to unpeg them from the body and swing them straight up like that out of the way. And then we can open up the chest and fold out these little tiny wings on the side of the chest and fold it all the way out. Grab the entire figure, turn it 360 degrees like that, and then take the figure and push. Next, take the head and push it down a little bit so we can come to the back of the head and flip out this section here. Actually not the easiest thing to do. I normally end up grabbing a gun or something to leverage it up. You can also push with your nail right up here. It's a little bit tricky to do, but you can do it. Get that snapped into place, turn the head around, and fold the head up into the section back here like this. And congratulations, you've just formed the rear wheels. Oh, and there are little tabs here that go into the tabs on the either side of the head. So just getting this up into this section is a little bit tricky, but once you get it, it stays perfectly fine. And sorry, I kind of messed that up. You don't really need to flip the head around. Just lean the head back, fold it up, and everything will peg into place like that. For the legs, what we're going to do is take the feet and push the feet back into the rest of the leg section and fold the feet, or I should say fold the heels up as far as they will go, like that. Then come to the front of the shin, open the shin up, and flip open the back of the leg on both sides. Then we'll take the entire bottom foot section and flip it 180 degrees outside of the figure, and it will peg into this little peg hole just on the outside like that. Then with the lower legs flipped out to the side, take the feet, straighten them out, and then fold them up into the bottom of the legs like that. Then take what were the shins, fold them forward all the way. Take what were the back of the legs, fold them forward all the way until they peg into place, and then bring those sections together and peg them together. Then take the front section, fold it down, and get it right in between, into that opening right where that was. Then we could turn the back around again. You didn't really have to turn it all the way around. I just kind of screwed that up. Take the arms, flip them so that the fists are pointing towards the top of the back, and then flip them all the way forward until they connect to this little spherical section right there. And those will just snap into place. Do the same thing on the other side. Flip that around, peg it back into place, and then there is a little peg at the edge here, right where my finger is, and a little peg hole in there. Just sandwich it up until it pegs into place. And then slide the entire rear section of the car into the front section until everything pegs into place right at the canopy and right up here at the bottom of the feet. And then reattach the spoiler, and we're done. Calidus's vehicle mode is simply phenomenal. I love the look of this vehicle mode. It's so sleek and so nifty. Mastermind Creations has really done something nice here. Yeah, from the back it looks a little weird, not gonna lie, because you can, see the fists and tiny little tires. But from the front and the overall aesthetic of the vehicle mode really screams a Cybertronian hot rod version to me. Now, you can use both weapons in this mode. The gun will peg simply at the back of the vehicle, and then the bow and arrow will peg on these little peg holes right at the front of the vehicle, but you do have to make sure everything lines up correctly. So you snap that in place, fold it down, and then just fold the bow and arrow bits down, and here we go. And again, it looks fantastic. This is just, I love this alt mode. This alt mode is what sold me on the figure as a whole, but once I got it in hand, man, I am so impressed with what Mastermind Creations has been doing as of late. They have been making some absolutely fan-freaking-tastic figures. You heard me mention it earlier, but this guy is about $85 on Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I got him. And man, I gotta tell you guys, this is probably one of my favorite figures of the year, third-party wise. One of my favorite figures. It's so much fun. It looks so good in both of his modes. And I'm just smitten with him. I am absolutely smitten with this figure. It's just such a nice figure. And what's even better is Mastermind Creations has created a version of this figure that is the exact same color scheme as the current version of Hot Rod in the IDW comic book series. And that color scheme is really nice. Just really, really nice to look at. Just really, really neat. I will probably pick that figure up when I see it go on sale. I'm not going to get it right now, but I will definitely be picking that repaint up at some point. It's the same exact figure, just in a purple hue, we'll say. It's really, really cool. Overall, this is a great mold. Everything feels tight. There's no marring of the plastic anywhere. It's just an absolutely wonderful figure to get a hold of, and I'm so glad that I did. Again, I picked this up at Big Bad Toy Store, where I get a lot of my figures, as you guys already know, and it's over there and in stock. If you can swing it, if you can, I would pick this one up. Considering the last couple of years of Mastermind Creations, I haven't picked up everything they've sold. I was not too keen on Koltor or whoever the Kaon version was. I actually sold the Kaon version off to one of my Twitter followers. But the Strika version that I recently picked up and this guy are just great. Definitely worth having in your collection. Definitely worth picking up. And definitely worth the asking price. So gang, I hope you enjoyed this video review of Mastermind Creations Reformatted Calidus. As always, I am Baltmatrix. Ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you next time.